what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. So, a busy night last night, and most of it went pretty well, except for the LSU basketball game, which of the three is probably the one that we all were hoping the most LSU would be able to get. Baseball Tigers blow out UNO, and the Pelicans won by 30 against Sacramento. I mean, what a night, what a run the Pelicans are on right now. But LSU basketball waking up tomorrow, no doubt really, or no, waking up today, excuse me, no doubt really disappointed with the result of that basketball game, man. We've talked about it a good bit here, how the Tigers have looked for for opportunities to move up, on the seed line. After missing some opportunities, dropping some disappointing ones. The home loss to Ole Miss, the road loss at South Carolina. Although that's looking better and better the more South Carolina wins. But just a massively disappointing loss, because this was a quad one road opportunity whereby if you manage to win it, you move up a line. And boy, LSU sure seemed in control. The refs totally screwed them out of a 4-point swing before the half. Beautiful defensive play by LSU in a bucket. Instead, they call an offensive foul, goes the other way, and Arkansas gets a bucket before the half. So that was a 4-point swing, which was terrible. And then the end game sequence was, the more I think about it, just absolutely atrocious. Want to be very clear. Y'all know me. I'm not the guy that's ever going to sit here and say that the refs cost you a game. Even in the NOLA no-call game, there were so many opportunities the Saints had throughout 60 minutes and overtime. Saints got the ball first in that game, and they just didn't take advantage. And you left yourself in a situation where a call could so dramatically impact a game. Same with LSU last night. When I look at that box score, I'm nauseated to look at 6 of 28 from 3. I'm nauseated looking at Xavier Pinson going 0 of 7 from 3, including when you have a lead inside of a minute and a chance to turn a 1-point lead into a 3-point lead or a 4-point lead, and Xavier Pinson's chalking up a 3, especially when he was so good at getting to the rim and finishing. To see Brandon Murray 0 of 5 from 3, to see Gaines take a contested step back 3, to see Sharif O'Neal attempt a 3, to see Efton Reed attempt a 3, like awful shot selection at times, and then some miserable fouls. Tari Eason committed a foul 70 feet from the basket out of frustration. Efton Reed came through the back of an offensive player like he was a safety trying to dislodge the football. Xavier Pinson did the same thing around midcourt. Just a lot of bad fouls. Just not smart plays. So LSU did plenty in that game that affected the outcome. Make no mistake. But they played well enough to win and should have won the game. And they were right there at the end in an awful sequence with a flagrant foul upon review on Mwani, and then another foul called where the offensive player has picked up his dribble near midcourt at the sideline, has picked up his dribble. He's cornered by 3 defenders. He loses control of the ball. Basically, he looked like he kept his foot down, but went up with the basketball. Could have called a travel. And instead they call a foul, put Note on the line to win it at the free throw line, which is just disgusting. College basketball, I said it last night on Nightcap, for those that missed it. I'll say it in a more clean way here. College basketball, that game is an example of why college basketball has become largely unwatchable. If you're not betting on the game, or if you don't have a rooting interest, it is not an aesthetically pleasing product. It's a very bad product. You have unskilled players, you have undisciplined players, many times not with a team concept, and too often games are so poorly officiated they lack flow. There were 40 fouls called in that basketball game last night. in a 40-minute game. That means the ref collectively could not swallow the whistle for more than a minute of game action at a time. That is absolutely appalling. That is like stop and go traffic. You ever done that? That we all have before. You punch the gas and you stop, and then you creep up and you stop, and it looks like there's a clearing, so you start to go and you stop. That's how that game. It was a 2.5-hour college basketball game. There was a 2.5-hour college basketball game. I mean, absolutely disgusting to watch last night. People love the tournament because the tournament's a lot of fun. Everybody fills out a bracket, and you have the upsets and the teams you never heard of, and it's all that's fun. People love the tournament. People love to bet, and that's fine. I'm all for it. But the reason why I can't on a Tuesday night sit down and watch Maryland against Iowa is because of that. The game is so poorly played and poorly officiated. It's just an unwatchable product. And that was a case in point of it last night. It's so massively frustrating to commit the time of your life to watch that when it's so bad. All right, I'll hop off my soapbox. I was late this morning. My apologies. And Drew's back at school, so I only have about 10 more minutes. So I'm going to go quickly here. Shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Michael Kleber, Ronald Uriel, Trey Bagby, Deborah Coward. Good morning, y'all. Trey, the call was made in the beginning of the season. LSU is ref differently than other teams. No, they're not, Trey. They're not ref differently than other teams. That's how it's done in college basketball. LSU is not a very smart team, and they commit too many dumb fouls, which is why you have the overwhelming number of fouls against LSU because of how they play and because they're not very smart. That said, there were egregious calls as well. College basketball referees have no idea what they're doing with the block charge. I saw 2 different times, on 2 different occasions last night, LSU had baskets taken away because they called a charge against an LSU player when Jalen Williams slid under an airborne player. If an offensive player is going in the air, that offensive player has a right to land. A defensive player cannot slide in that offensive player's way to initiate contact when the player is coming down. That is a block, is what that is. It is the defensive player initiating the contact. And twice last night they took buckets away from LSU because of that. Watch the NBA. Watch SportsCenter today. Go watch SportsCenter today and watch highlights from the Cleveland Cavaliers game last night when Bickerstaff, their head coach, got tossed. He lost his mind because he wanted a charge call for something very similar. His player slid in front of an offensive player, and there was a collision like a linebacker running back in the hole, and he wanted a charge call, but it wasn't. It was a block. His defensive player slid in the way, and the referee was savvy enough to know what the defensive player was doing and that he was moving, and then that's a defensive foul. It doesn't happen in the college game. They love them a charge call in the college game, and they don't know what they're looking at. Stephen Fry, Thomas Bergeron. Hey, Nikki Miller, good morning. Good to see you. By the way, from Torchy's Tacos. I'll go get by campus. Get you some Torchy's Tacos today. Look, by the way, Lent, if you're looking for meatless options on Friday, go get you some fish tacos. Great option. Steve Colson, what's good? Looking out for Mario. That's right. Mario unplugged my mic and stole my Celevate. David Coslin, what's up? Tigers squandered a great opportunity last night. Bad officiating, too aggressive, and fouling with 8 seconds left. They did squander a great opportunity. No doubt. Jared DeLucky, epic rant last night at the start of Nightcap and warranted. LSU did themselves no favors, but the refs didn't help either. Fair warning, if you do go watch Nightcap, remember, Nightcap with Scone is after hours. We're pouring whiskey, so it is an adult show. I do curse on Nightcap, like with whiskey and wine, so just fair warning. And yes, I blew a gasket at the start of Nightcap yesterday because it was at halftime right after the sequence where they called the offensive foul against LSU, which erased, I believe, Pinson's bucket and gave the ball to Arkansas where they hit the buzzer beater to tie it. LSU should have been up 4 at half and said they were tied. Bubba Tatum, Ryan, Amanda Guidry, Cody Mayers, Randy Bennett, Brian Broom, Ryan Dixon, what's good? Team lacks discipline, becoming a theme under Will. I don't know. I certainly would have argued that other teams he's had have been more disciplined. This is a different iteration. This is not a great offensive basketball team. They're much better defensively, obviously. And they went on the road last night in one of the best venues, not only in the SEC, but in all of college basketball. And probably should have won that game. That's what's lost. Like, you went on the road, place where Kentucky lost, where Auburn lost, where Tennessee lost, and you went blow for blow. Probably should have won that game. Monty Braley, Ricky Lambert, Thomas Lamont, what's up? Do you see baseball's defense getting better as the year goes? You know, Thomas, I hope so. Another error last night for Jordan Thompson. He's got to figure it out. You can't keep having your shortstop kick balls the rate Jordan is. I think he's got 6 errors already on the season. It's just too many. If not, then you got to find someone else. And your option's probably kick Doty over to short. Tim Gotro, Wendell Norman, Trivia Carter, A-Rod323. What's up? LSU USC 2024 is going to be good. Long ways away, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be in Vegas for that one for sure. Sean Comiskey, Morning Matt, how big was the call at the end of the first half? I just talked about it. Yeah, it was massive. I mean, you fouled Jalen Williams out with just under 5 minutes to play, and he would have been gone sooner if you got him that third foul early. Kirk Taylor, what's up? Brian Ashcraft, LSU missing from 3 feet from the basket will be the death of me. There's no question. They've struggled to finish all year. And then some people have also said, one other thing, some other people said Will Wade should have called a timeout there at the end. I disagree. And there's different ways to think of this. One school of thought is call the timeout, set up a play for the okay. But it's a catch-22. If you call the timeout, you're also giving the defense a chance to set up its defense. Think of it like a 2-minute drill in the NFL. Like when quarterbacks complete passes, they're saying go, because you don't want to give the defense time to breathe. You don't want them to get set. You want them just reacting, and you're pushing the action. Similar there. I don't know that you had 8 seconds left, 8.6 or something like that. Xavier Pinson takes the ball, dribbles the length of the court, slashes through the lane. Remember, there's no Jalen Williams, so their best shot blocker, rim protector, is not in the ball game. And Xavier Pinson goes down right side of the lane, crosses over to the left, and has a contested layup. I mean, and he missed it. He missed it badly, but we saw him make some spectacular layups, high off the glass. I mean, there were some spectacular plays he made, but it just didn't fall. I don't know that you're going to get a better look than that if you call a timeout to draw it up. So I disagree completely with the should have called timeout crowd. I'm perfectly fine with them doing it the way they did. Reed Rule, what's up? Eric Wilderrotter, Taz, good morning. There's some NFL teams that say they don't look at the 40 times like the Rams. They use GPS technology and live game action. How important is the 40 time? It's a metric. I don't think it's the metric. But if you go and run a 4.29, who is the kid? Wasn't it Jalen Rieger who ran like a? I think Jalen Rieger. No, who's 4.47? Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of? Oh, it was who was it? It was the receiver out of Maryland that the Raiders ended up taking like in the top 10. Anyway, sometimes it matters. Sometimes teams can fall in love with a guy's speed like that as a differentiator, but it's not the only thing. Taz, I believe tight end spot is just as important to fill as the wide receiver spot for the Saints. Are there any tight ends worth a first-round pick? I'm not using a first-round pick on a tight end. No shot. Just no shot at all. I actually think they should go sign Kyle Rudolph. I'm not giving up on Adam Troutman after year 2. So bring in a veteran like Kyle Rudolph, pair them together, let Troutman continue to develop, take some of the pressure off, see if he can be a second contract guy. Trey Guy, Keith H, good morning. What's good? Let's hustle. Aaron, I might try to get to it. I'm just going quickly because Drew's back at school today, so I got to go get him up here in a minute. So it's a short show. I apologize. Brandon, good morning. How's E-Rock and Drew? Is Drew excited to be going back to New St. Lillian? So he's going to be pumped. He's sleeping right now, so it's going to be one of those tough wake-ups, but he's always pumped to go, yeah. Rap in batches. Problem is most high-level college basketball players see their time in college like serving prison time. They do what they have to do to look good, to do their 1 year, go to the NBA. Absolutely. That's a big part of it. But I also don't blame coaches for taking those, like the great players. Look at Auburn, for example, with Jabari Smith. With Jabari Smith, Auburn is a national championship contender. Without him, they're a good team, but they're not a national championship contender. So I understand why you take that guy, of course. But it does alter what you are. Like, I want to go, I'm going to do this maybe on AFR or LSU Daily today, but Darius Days is a great example of a guy that has no NBA future, but when you stay 4 years in college, you become a really good college basketball player. Now, I don't love some of Darius Days' shot selection. He thinks he's a three-point shooter. He's not. But he is a very good college post player. He's not a rim protector. He's not an above-the-rim guy. He'll never have an NBA career because of that. But there was a play last night where he got the ball on the left side of the block and against Jalen Williams, made him miss, made a beautiful move in the lane, went up and under and finished. I mean, like, that's just a veteran player knowing how to use his body and the spacing on the floor to get a good look and to finish. Like, you don't see that from freshmen because the best freshmen who are coming out of high school are just bigger and more athletic than the 5'6" point guard from Central or wherever, like name the school, and they can do whatever they want because they're more athletic. When you start developing a skill set in college, you become a better basketball player, and that's what Darius Days is right now. Like, he's a better post player, but Darius Days wants to be out there shooting threes. And Will Wade's got long dudes like Efton Reed and Alex Fudge. I don't even know if Fudge played last night. Sharif got those minutes. Did Fudge even play? Fudge didn't play last night. Wow. I didn't think so. Sharif got 7 minutes. Fudge didn't play. Wow. Interesting. All right. All right, y'all. I got to get going. It's 7:56. I got to get Drew up and get him out to go to school. For those of y'all I didn't get to, my apologies. I'm very, very sorry. I just got a little bit of a late start today, and so we didn't get to do as long a show. But Darius Hayward Bay, thank you, Brian Jones. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Dax Jeter, Brian Jones. Thank y'all. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Thank you. All right, I got to bounce. Shout out to Brock, the Banner's Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. You need a roof, Hudco Roofing. Always a free, no obligation roofing inspection. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all honestly, it's spring and our inspections are starting to stack up. So it's really smart to maybe go to the website right now, HUDCOroofing.com, fill out the contact form. But you don't have to be home. There's no charge. Like, we literally just send a field inspector to your house, get up on the roof to walk it to see if you have damage. If you do, we'll help you file a claim. You pay your deductible. That's it. If not, no worries. Like, great. Going into storm season, your roof's in really good shape. So anyway, HUDCOroofing.com. All right, y'all have an awesome day. LSU Daily coming up in a little bit. It could be a little later today, by the way, because I got to go to the dentist after I drop off Drew. And then AFR 3. Okay, y'all have an awesome one. We'll see you. Peace.